The Toronto Raptors have finally made a move. As news came out today that the Raptors have waived Justin Champagnie. He's been cut from the roster, and that has led some to speculate that bigger deals could potentially be on the way. So we'll discuss all that in this video, as well as a Precious Achiuwa injury update, Nick Nurse calling out this Raptors squad after an ugly Memphis Grizzlies loss, and John Morant showing some support to Scottie Barnes. So lots of stuff to discuss. Without further ado, let's jump into the first topic of discussion. The first thing we're taking a look at is the Toronto Raptors waiving Justin Champagnie. Now, this is a sad day for me as a guy that's a big fan of Justin Champagnie's game. I like the energy he brought. I like the rebounding he provided as a guard. And he was a solid three-point shooter during his rookie season. And this season, we really didn't even get a look at Justin Champagnie on the court. It feels like he didn't play a single second of meaningful minutes this year. Now, a part of that's due to consistently being injured when opportunities arose for him. And you know, he did show out in the G League at times, but he did have his moments during his rookie year, which is kind of the reason I'm a little bit shocked here this morning to see this news come out. This is coming from Josh Bloomberg saying the Raptors have waived Justin Champagnie, whose contract was due to become fully guaranteed this coming weekend. Their roster stands at 14 players right now, not including two-way guys, and Justin Champagnie impressed last year on his two-way deal, but the Raps liked him enough to bring him back and get a closer look, despite being banged up this summer. But injuries limited him in camp as well as early in the season. Hopefully he gets another shot elsewhere. Great guy, definitely an NBA talent there. So that's what Josh Bloomberg had to say about the whole situation. And yeah, it's just an unfortunate moment. Also, probably last chance we'll get to play the Champagne animation. So rest in peace to that one there. But you know, he's a guy this season just didn't. As Bloomberg put it best, didn't get a lot of opportunity. I mean, you look at his stats for this year. 2 points, 1.3 rebounds, field goal percentage is super high, right? He didn't miss a shot this season. What are we doing selling this guy? But no, he's a dude that finishes well, and a lot of people are bringing up his stats in the G League, saying that, oh, he's putting up monster numbers, but a lot of those shots are coming down in the lanes, you know, points in the bucket. The three-point shot isn't something that's been exceptional down there in the G League, so, you know, he's kind of redundant on the roster at this point, and we need to fix a lot of things in terms of shooting, in terms of everything that's on the go. And it didn't seem like he wanted to stick around for the current role he's been used with Nick Nurse, as a couple weeks ago we discussed how he posted this to his Instagram story saying, "Free me." Now, I don't think by this he meant waive me, cut me, you know, free me in that sense. I think more so he meant give me some minutes, coach. But unfortunately for Justin Champagnie, he's now no longer employed by the Toronto Raptors. But again, I'm wishing him the best. Showed a lot of talent in his rookie year. So hopefully, you know, Justin Champagnie lands on his feet somewhere, because I think he has a legitimate NBA career in him. But let me know what you guys think on that front. But the real reason people are probably interested in this move is why this makes the Toronto Raptors trade more likely. Now, the first reason is it gives us a lot more roster flexibility. The Raptors were currently at 15 guys. You know, the roster was full, was jam-packed. So now, if a deal is to be made, if a deal were to go down, we would be able to acquire multiple players in return. So that's intriguing. That's interesting because, you know, we've discussed a bunch on recent videos about the Toronto Raptors potentially making deals. Right, a couple of names have been brought up is Jakob Poeltl, Miles Turner. We'll dive into those guys' stats in a minute or so, but you know, gives the Raptors a little bit more flexibility for acquiring players. But there's two directions we could potentially go in with a trade. One, win now, which after a couple losses, Raptors fans aren't too jovial, too zealous about potentially going in that route. But you know, it's definitely something we should do, and personally, I'd be cool with it. We get ourselves a center. Sure, we might not be a title contender by one or two moves right now, but if you start tanking, if you start selling seasons, sure, there's an opportunity of Victor Wembanyama, but there's a lot higher probability of just getting an average sort of lottery pick, an average sort of lottery player, and giving away established talent for that risk. I don't know. It's debatable. We'll see how the rest of the season sort of plays through. But so you could go in that route, but there's also the direction of selling hard. And with additional roster spaces, if you're looking to tank, you're usually acquiring a few prospects back. You're giving away one massive piece to the other organization, and usually it's lesser contracts coming back. So now the Raptors have the ability to take on more contracts. They have the ability to take in more players. Now, they could immediately waive them or something like that. So it's not things are always able to get around and manipulate and fix up. But if we were sort of send out, I don't think it's going to happen, but a Pascal Siakam or Fred VanVleet, one of our bigger names and sort of hopes of going in that younger direction, which some people have certainly been calling for, right? The Raptors are more apt to do that now after the Justin Champagnie waiving. So take that as you will. I don't think we're going to go in that route. I think if a trade's going down, it's going to be a minor move. Big moves, probably usually Masai Ujiri goes in that direction during the off season, but we'll see what ends up happening. A couple of trade targets that I'll just bring up briefly that have been in the rumor mill. Jakob Poeltl, obviously 12 points, 9 rebounds this season. The Spurs are looking for 2 first-round picks for him, so I doubt they're getting that return. But given the Raptors season as well this so far, I don't even know if we'd be willing to give up a first-round pick for Jakob Poeltl, but definitely potential interesting ad there. Would solve a lot of our problems, at least on the defensive end. But Nick Nurse has brought up how our lack of offense and lack of shooting is really putting a hurt locker on our defense. So you could get Jakob Poeltl, but also getting another big man, Miles Turner. Ooh, that's not Miles Turner, but yeah, okay. His stats are not coming up there right now, but Miles Turner's having a career year this year. For the Indiana Pacers, who have been better than the Toronto Raptors this season, so who knows if they'd really be that interested in giving him up. So we'll see what ends up happening on the potential block. Let me know in the comment section what moves you guys like to see be made. But the next thing we're diving into is a Precious Achiuwa injury update. Now, Precious Achiuwa, I've been drumming up the propaganda for the past couple years, and hopefully we'll be able to drum up some of that Precious propaganda again in the coming days, in the coming weeks, or in the coming day, tonight. What am I even talking about? Because report has come out that this came from Bloomberg yesterday. I didn't get a chance to react to it, but I want to bring it up on this vid today. But VanVleet and Achiuwa are out for the Grizzlies game, and Koloko is available, but Nurse said Fred's day-to-day, so he could potentially return against the Suns tonight as well, but would expect Precious Achiuwa to make his return against the Phoenix Suns tomorrow. Now, I'm recording this a little bit earlier than I usually do these videos. Got a couple days off work, so I'm able to record them during the day, but Precious Achiuwa potentially returning tomorrow night would be a huge help to this Raptors defense. Now, he's still undersized for a center, but he's strong. He's just a sturdy body that can get rebounds, that can body people, right? He could go up against the DeAndre Aytons of the world and not get absolutely crushed, diminished in the post. So he would be a nice guy. And with Gary Trent Jr. moved to the bench, Precious Achiuwa is logically the guy that could be in the starting unit. And we haven't seen a lot of Precious Achiuwa as a starter. So we'll see how that fits, how his role plays. But hopefully we get to see Precious Achiuwa return tonight. And, that'll help the potential odds of the Toronto Raptors winning a game. And if you guys are interested in betting on the Toronto Raptors, and the odds are pretty solid now. If you want to bet on them beating the Phoenix Suns tonight, definitely check out CoolBet. They're the best sports book. I see people throwing up potential prop bets, parlays and stuff in our Discord. Send them to us directly. Use CoolBet to you do those prop bets, because one, you get custom odds if you sign up using our link down in the Raptors Digest, using our code down below, right? You can hit up myself or Goody, and we can directly get you specific bets, specific boosts that you guys are interested in. So definitely check out that link down below. And they're regulated across Canada. They're the safest sports book you can use across Canada. So they're just the spot if you want to be sports betting, betting on the Toronto Raptors, NBA, or any sports in general. So shout out to CoolBet for supporting the channel. But we got some more news to cover, and Nick Nurse had some harsh words for the Toronto Raptors following that loss to the Memphis Grizzlies last night. And given that loss, the odds for the Toronto Raptors beating the Suns are looking pretty high when I peep the CoolBet bets today. So make some money. Hit up that. But Nick Nurse had these comments to make following the loss to the Memphis Grizzlies, and he wasn't holding back. He said, "I don't know if the play tonight gives me much optimism at all. It's pretty unacceptable with the effort we gave. Nurse on the transition defense. It's about as bad as it could get. We would make a free throw and then they go ahead and dunk it on the other end. Plays like that just can't happen. Or they can happen once, maybe every 7 years. We have to get focused, connected, and get serious about playing harder. Lately, we've been lacking our identity. We're a bit disjointed right now, and we've got to hang in there. We've got to get to work and keep showing that we are what we're talking about. That we got to keep showing them what we're talking about. Hopefully, they'll go out there and execute it. They should get tired of this pretty soon and start playing." So that's what Nick Nurse, his comments were following the post game, and he's right. right? The Toronto Raptors are out there for moments. It looks like they're dejected. They're not getting back on defense. And a part of that is missing shots, as he's brought up in previous comments and stuff. But part of that's just mentally locking in. When you have a young team, it's hard to keep them steady, hard to keep them stable. But we do have veterans mixed in there with them. Now, Thaddeus Young is not getting like insane amounts of minutes, but we have championship guys like maybe not last night, but Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, Chris Boucher won a chip for us, right? These are the guys that are supposed to be. I thought Boucher brought some energy in the game last night. So, but getting everyone else going, we need that leadership. We need someone to step up and make sure the entire roster is, fully engaged, fully ready to rock. But let me know if you guys agree with Nick Nurse, and maybe this sets a fire under the team. Because when he called out Chris Boucher, when Nick Nurse called out Chris Boucher, set a little fire underneath him. So maybe calling out the entire team will lead to a little win streak en route. But the final thing we're discussing in this video is John Morant speaks out on Scottie Barnes. Now, Scottie Barnes, he's been better as of late. He's been better, but John Morant got a question regarding Scottie Barnes' sophomore season struggles. Honestly, yes, he's had some really bad games individually, but overall, I think Scottie Barnes, with exception on the defensive end, which has been improving in about the past week or so, right? Scottie Barnes is still on a solid, steady trajectory. John Morant was asked about his sophomore struggles, and he had this to say, essentially saying that, on his bumpy second season, you just got to have patience. I feel like most people don't know what an NBA player goes through. I'm sure he's going to be fine. On his way out, don't worry, y'all. Everybody's time is different. He'll be special. So, Scottie Barnes has been receiving some high praise from players across the league, whether it's Kevin Durant, John Morant, even Kyle Kuzma has shown some love to Scottie. So, he'll be good. Definitely like the praise there for Scottie Barnes. Shout out to John Morant. But folks, you guys are best to make this far. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video and you made it all the way through it. Helps out the channel big time. Sign up for CoolBet down below using our link in the description. You guys are the best. I'm signing out. Cheers.